Nice. It's a nice panel, dude. I like it. Nice and easy. This is really cool. It's a pretty easy setup, dude, to have a smart panel. Let's get the bags on. We got a special one today. Leviton has been nice enough to help us out with this panel upgrade. These are our smart breakers right here. And this is it right here. This is what makes the panel a smart panel. There's the back of the panel. That's what we're gonna rip out right there. It's got PVC, just super helpful. We can use some string to burn through that one and cut it. So we'll put our 2 ground rods in, 1, 2, 6 feet apart. Get our panel right there. He's got a full-blown smart setup. He's gonna have the panel, the breakers are smart, the EV charger is smart. Everything connects directly to his phone. Yeah. Where he can control everything. He can see the amperages on every breaker. Get our jackhammer just in case we can't get the ground rods in. Get it before the utility turns off the power on, Paul. All right, so what are we looking at here, Paul? We need to be 6 feet apart, right?
Yeah, I gotta go more that way.
What's that you got up there?
Goes right on the ground rod.
I think it's pretty cool, dude. Need to go grab my earplugs real quick. Roto hammer. Tell you what, you young guys out there, I've been doing this almost 20 years now. Wear your earplugs, man. I got ringing in my ears that won't go away now. High frequency hearing loss is not something you want to mess around with. Got the first one in, Paul?
Yeah.
That one was quick. Right there. Let's check out our panel, huh? Leviton. Super nice of them to send us a panel. There we go. We always keep the box for all the trash. There she is. All in one. Love it. We got our sticker. There's our main breaker. Utility side. Get this bad boy opened up. Always put the screw back in so we don't lose it. Get all of it opened up. Another thing we want to do, I got a call from a lineman the other day who said that right in this section right here, someone had knocked this out so the conduit could come into the utility side, and they had the panel upside down, and this piece, the knockout, actually fell up into the bussing up in here. Well, they flipped the panel back over just like this, and they set it in, they did all their work. They didn't know that it was crossed across the bussing, and as soon as utility company went to land the wires, boom, it blew up. They rang it out and they didn't get any tone, and what we think happened was that the paint actually was causing it to where you couldn't read with a continuity tester, but the electricity was enough to make it through the edges of the paint, or the knockout moved something when they hit the panel or something, and it moved and then it blew up. We don't know exactly how it happened, but we want to be able to check everything before they come out to energize. They actually already came out and de-energized the panel, as you can see, so we're good to go on that. Open this whole thing up. Super clean panel, dude. Look at that.
Dang.
You like that?
That's pretty cool.
So looks like the hots and the neutrals all land for each individual breaker so that they can read what's going on with it. So this is a 125, guys. He didn't need a 200. This has come up in a couple of the other videos. Why would you install a 125 amp? Well, the utility company would have required him to trench from here all the way out, rip up all his pavers, go across his grass, all the way down here. He would have had to dig all this up, all the way over here to this handhole right here. That would be incredibly expensive to have to tear all that up. So he did not want to do that. So that's why we're doing a 125. It's still an upgrade, just an upgrade of 25 amps instead of 100 amps. All right, we're gonna start breaking this out. Paul's getting the ground wire in there. Now, as we've talked about in other videos, the utility company requires the meter to be no lower than 48 inches. So on this panel, we have about 10 3/4, 11 inches. So there's 48 right here. So minus 11 inches, we're gonna be right at 39. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 4'2". We could go to 38 on this one because it's a little bit higher. So it's kind of right in here is where the center of the meter will be. Just above 48 is what we want. Measure the panel. So we're looking at like 44.5. So I'll probably go 46 because we have access on the back. 46 up high. It's right about there. And as I've said in other videos, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be close. So these pavers right here, these are gonna have to go because we need our clear and level workspace in front of the panel, but we can deal with that later. Get it somewhat close. As I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're about to chip it out. So he does not need this anymore. There's nothing in here. So we're actually gonna get rid of this for him. Mark this out right about there. Give ourselves plenty of space to work on this. I like to open it up so I can see the whole stud because we got to clear all the chicken wire, all the nails, everything off so the new panel sits nice and flush. Always make sure you have your safety glasses on. What you want to make sure is that you don't use a grinder on this. What happens is if you use a grinder, you're cutting the chicken wire as well, and the stucco guy needs the chicken wire to hold the new stucco. So the first panel that I ever did, I cut the chicken wire, and he came out and he was like, dude, now I have to break open more stucco so that I can grab onto the chicken wire and then splice it. Just break it out, right? And then I can have that old chicken wire to be set up with. So man, this is some pretty strong stucco. It's not like the stuff we're used to working with. Usually this stuff just falls apart, dude. There we go. Good, good. What's that? Oh, an old dryer outlet. That's cool. You like panel upgrades, Paul?
Yeah, they're pretty good. Some
like
of them better than others.
I like panel upgrades. All right, so then I want to make sure you label everything as we go through. So we have labels here. We do want to make sure that they're the same. They're literally disconnected. Just double check. Yeah, it's all dead, dude. That'd be blowing up right now. Just bring it in the trash. It's the stove. Get all these out of the way for now so we can get rid of all these. I just cut all these out. Sometimes those screws are all stripped and it takes forever to unscrew them, so just get around them and hack them all out because you're only losing about 3/4 of an inch. I will loosen the big one though. Cold water bond. All right, you want to start pulling off some pieces of tape so we can label these quick. So we just use a numbering system and then we label it on a piece of cardboard so that we know what number 1 was. We just label each one 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That way it's nice and easy and quick. This one's 9. And these have all been 20s up till now, right?
Yeah.
So all the rest of these are 8.
Yeah. Which we don't have to label them, right? Because we know.
I guess you're right. Yeah, we can just leave those ones.
Those are 8.
It's a waste of time. Let's go get these wires out of here. Go on the back side. Show some ground so these can go straight out of the panel. Nice and easy. These old screws out of here. Get these ones out now. Goes. Don't need that. Got lots of nails in here, bro. You got the sledgehammer? Time to just give it a little beat like that to make sure it's wide enough for when we put the new panel in. Just take the string, get it where you want it, and then just carefully go back and forth till it starts grabbing. Feel it burning through it. Can you go on the other side, Paul?
I still see it.
Huh?
I still see it right there.
Now do it on your side. Keep going. See it burning through there. Right there. Just like that. Snap it off. Good to go. So you can see we didn't burn all the way through. That's what you want right there. To not go all the way through it, and then it'll just snap once you get close. You got an MA? You got some glue? Just a tiny bit. Doesn't need a ton. Here we go. All the way on there. All right, we got to knock out the bottom, Paul. And then I got to double check for 2-pole breakers because we got a whole bunch of shared neutrals. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 15s and 3 20s. These are all the breakers. 2 single 15s. You got 120 here. I got to go get more breakers, dude. Let me help you get the panel in before I go get those breakers. Which one are we doing right here? This one. This is where you really want to watch out. Make sure you don't lose this knockout down in the bottom of the panel. Because like I said, he called me and he said that the knockout fell down and over here, and they didn't know it and they flipped over the panel and boom, when they turned it on. So always watch out for that and double check. Got that? There you go. Got it. This one has some play in it. And the studs. It's a nice panel, dude. I like it. Maybe we'll do it at my house next. Oh, broke it, baby. I do it every time, dude. You know I do. Every time I break one. Nice and clean, my bro. Get the ground landed. I'm gonna go get those breakers real quick. I just talked to them, Paul, and you see this N right here? Yeah. On the breaker, that N, that's the neutral for a 2-pole breaker that you land on. So right here you got 2 to land, so this N right here is the one that we land on, not the other one. So get the ground done, and then get the wires in the top. I didn't wait for you to knock the top out, did I? Before we got it in. You can get them, right? You can get your hand up there.
Do we need steel tie straights?
Huh?
Steel tie connector straights?
I have a few, yeah. Okay. But I'll grab a couple more. Never hurts to have more in the van. Should I grab you some new boots and new pants at the same time? I ordered new shirts. So I got new collared shirts and I got new hats, and I know you like the flex fit ones, so I ordered you your special ones.
Those ones are more comfortable.
All I ask is that you buy new jeans. That's it. Don't you walking around look like a scraggly electrician, dude. So you can make up the other ones. Breakers just pop in. You got your hot and you got your neutral. It's super simple to make this panel up.
Yeah, if it's a 2-pole, just hot, neutral.
So the neutral on the top is the one you're landing on.
Yeah.
Got it? And then the ground's obviously all the way down here. Very simple. You got it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back. Inspector just showed up. We're good to go. He just wants to see the ground landed, a picture of it, so we got to send one to him. And we rocking and rolling. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, so we're moving pretty good on this one. What's up, my friend? I got the wrong breakers. Those need to go back, but I need to get different ones. 3 2-pole 20s and 2 2-pole 15s. Here we are right here. So they didn't have the 2-pole 15s, unfortunately. This is a mistake on my part for not opening up the panel and looking to see how many of the breakers we're gonna need to be 2-pole. The code requires that if circuits now share a neutral, so if you have a Romex that has a black and a red and a white and a green, or brass, you know, or not brass, the copper, they need to be on a 2-pole breaker now. So if you guys didn't know, City Electric, Escondido, those guys are awesome over there. They really set us up good with this panel. All right, so we found the breakers. We got everything we need. How you doing, Paul? You want to explain how we wire these a little bit differently than a normal panel?
Yeah, all the grounds have to go down there, just the grounds.
So all the grounds down here, right? Yeah. Just the grounds. Okay. And then on this panel, it's got slots for the breakers, right?
Yeah.
Just like a normal panel. But if you look right here, let's say you're putting in a 2-pole breaker. In here, this is a hot, this is a neutral, and this is a hot. And if you notice, this last slot right here does not have any metal in there, no clips. For a 2-pole, you gotta land your hot, then your neutral. This is what we were talking about earlier, where it shows the neutral. That's because that's where there's a clip right there, if you can see in there. This bottom one does not have it. So if you put the neutral on a 2-pole on that bottom one, you're gonna have nothing there, right? And then these just go in like this and shove in their slot. You're good to go. One thing to take note of though, on the left side, it's backwards. So see how this one, the gold screw, and then silver, gold, silver, gold, silver. On this side, it starts on silver. So make sure you don't make that mistake. So obviously if we flip it this way, you're gonna have hot, neutral, and then hot. So these ones look like they're upside down, but they're not. Right here you have gold and then silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver, gold, silver. So the hot goes on the gold, the neutral goes on the silver. And then right here we have nice and easy surge protector. So this is a nice one. Where did you have it, 7 and 5?
Yeah.
Right there. So that goes right there. Get it in, and it just snaps right in there. Nice and neat. So SDG&E showed up, as you guys can see. They landed their wires in here. So we're heated up to right here, the bus bars and the breaker, but the breaker's off. So we're safe to work here. Let's just make sure we don't walk away from the panel. All right, the next step, whole home energy monitor. This is what makes the panel smart. This is it right here. Here's the CTs for monitoring right here. So these are gonna go around the main bus bars down at the bottom of the panel. With these, you really wanna make sure that you're installing these with the arrow facing the load. So that's what it shows right there, right there. So we'll double check that in the documentation, that that's the direction they want it. But usually it faces the load. So 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network needed. Most home networks have both the 2.4 and the 5 nowadays. So this has sticky back, so I'm assuming this is gonna go inside the panel. This is probably the Wi-Fi dongle right here. So I can't get in there while Paul's making the panel up. We're gonna start working on the EV charger. All right, let's check this bad boy out. So this is it right here. Leviton 48 amp Wi-Fi enabled EVSE. Let's check this thing out. Super nice EV charger, man. Oh, nice. We got our back plate here. Just take this off. This is what's gonna mount on the wall. Take our back plate off. Put the screws back in so we don't lose them. Always put the screws back in, right, Paul?
What's that?
Always put the screws back in.
Oh yeah.
So we don't lose them. Looks like it has a Cat 5 connection that you can hardwire it in to your network. It's kind of cool. It does have Wi-Fi capability, so you don't have to do that. So this charger with this whip right here, the owner just wants it right next to the panel. So we're actually gonna drill out where that Sharpie mark is right there. You can see that right into the side of the panel. And then these wires will be long enough. Paul, grab a 1-inch hole saw, and or maybe even a little bit bigger than a 1-inch hole saw. Grab a couple different ones. Let's drill that wood out, and then we'll drill through, and we'll get an SO core connector on this, and we'll poke it into the side of the panel. Go forward and then backward to blow it out. Nice and level. There it is, good to go. There we go. Now I want to mount this so we know exactly where the charger is going to go. Don't lose the screws. go. Kind of awesome. We don't have to do anything inside the charger. For a setup where you're going, like, let's say across the other side of the garage, you could just mount a junction box right here and then run to where you need to go. Go nice and easy. There we go. We're gonna go like this. We'll put one strap on here, Paul. So I'm gonna strip this open. Careful you don't go through the wire with this SO cord. It's super soft. That's what you want to see where it hasn't cut through yet. Very careful so you don't split it open. Then it should slide off. There you go. Just like that. And like that. All right, so we got it in there. There's the charger. It's in the panel. He's gonna wire it up real quick, and then we will turn all of it on as soon as we get the Wi-Fi thing set up. Those ones should already be perfectly set up, huh? We will torque everything when we're done. Land that down there and we'll be done. I'm gonna put one strap on here so that doesn't move. There it is. So the instructions say black and blue wire must be on A phase and red and blue. So on here, black and blue and then red and blue. So black and blue goes on A, right? Just like that.
And then that's the load?
Yeah, and the arrow, let's double check if it says where the arrow goes. So with logo sticker and arrow on the embossed K, arrow L facing the main breaker or the lug, so facing up.
Yeah.
So facing the load is what they want. Make sure you got your leathers on and safety glasses. You never know, man. So blue and black around the A phase with the arrow facing up. So it's gotta be this way. Facing up, yep, toward the main. We wanna go right here, come around. There's A, just like that. Got it, just like that. Got our A and our B. They're both good to go. And for the module, so it does say to install this at the bottom of the panel, so we're gonna knock out the bottom here. Paul,
Yo.
do this one down here, like right here. There we go. Got that? So this say install it with this side facing up. We're gonna go like right there. There we go. That's enough. We can go behind there.
Yeah.
And land on a 2-pole breaker right there. So we just saw something on this panel, everybody. So the way that this works is on the right side. The phasing is black, red, black, red, black, red. But on this side, no, on this side it's the same. So, but what you have to make sure is that you have your A and your B. So this is gonna be black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. So in this scenario, this is red on the top where this breaker is, and this is black on the bottom. So you have to pay attention to that. It does show in here the phasing that we have going on. So it shows if the panel is one direction or flipped over. It's really the same. So just remember that the bottom screws and the top screws are black, both sides, and then count from there. But you have to make sure, especially for the monitoring, that you have the black and the red correct, because those are going to coincide with the CTs that you have mounted on the bus bars. And then what it says in here, it doesn't say a specific port, but it just says to start with starting with port 1. So we're going to take a phase. Oh, it's just one clip. I didn't even see that. So it's one clip. I thought it was 2 separate clips, just one clip. And you want to start up in there in port 1. That's all it says. Now it's gonna monitor. So we should be good to go, Paul, huh? Nice and clean, but does that make sense? So black, red, black, yeah. Red. Okay, let me get my gloves on and we'll fire this thing off. We'll blow it out first. And then we just need a KO seal up at the top, dude. Turn this bad boy on. Ready? There it goes. Cycle it once. There it is. Surge protector's on. Let's check voltage. 240. Nice and clean. See if the monitor, does it have a light on it or something? Oh, we gotta turn it on, that's right. Ready? On. Don't see any lights on it, but that doesn't mean that it's not on. Let's just turn. There we go. Everything's on. We're good to go. Oh yeah. Look at that. Wi-Fi thing's blinking now. There we go. There it is. Let's coil these up. Make it look somewhat decent. It's a pretty easy setup, dude, to have a smart panel. You'd think it would be a lot more difficult. It's pretty cool. I might even put one of these in my house, bro. And it does say that these wires can just sit next to Romex with no issues, so we're good to go. All good? All right, sorry, let's do one last check. Let's check the output on all of them real quick. 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120, 120. Let's go to this side. 120, my friend. Look at that. Let's just go ahead and check. 120 hot to neutral. Got him torqued, powered up. Let's go get him with the app. You go ahead, you can clean it all up. Close everything up. All right, I'm gonna go grab him, run through this with him, download the app, and we'll get everything set up. All right, so setting this thing up in the Leviton app is super easy. Click the plus button. We're gonna add a device. It's looking for it right now. So we're gonna do the load center first. So we got the whole home energy monitor and the smart breaker data hub. Adding this, and then you go through, name the panel, how many positions it is. We just have to run through this entire thing, and then you can see all your breakers, monitor them, see the amperage in them and all that, and then you're set up. So we're gonna run through this, and then we'll set up the EV charger as well, and we will be good to go. So what we did here, the Wi-Fi, it was not flashing green. When we're going through the setup mode, it wants it to be flashing green. So there's a little red button on the bottom that you have to hold for 7 seconds. Wait for the light to turn amber, and then let go, and it starts flashing green, and then you can continue in the discovering. And right here, so we got it connected to Wi-Fi, and then it immediately started asking, do you have smart breakers? We said yes. And then now it is actually discovering all of the smart breakers in the panel right now. And I'm assuming we're gonna have to go through and label each one what it is so that the app knows exactly what each breaker is, and then you can control each one from the app and monitor each one. A pretty cool setup. So we're all set up. This is phenomenal. So you can see on phase A, he's pushing about 117 volts. Phase B, 118 volts. We're gonna turn off this breaker. And look at that, turned it off. You can see right here, it's got the red light. See that right there? So just turn that off. Now let's see, turn it back on. There you go. Control everything from your phone. This is really cool. Let's see, let's go turn the dishwasher off. There it is. This one's off. I'll turn it back on. And there it goes, turned it on. Phenomenal. So in here, it's gonna show you your usage, day, week, month, total estimated cost. You got schedules that you can set up if you want to turn them on and off daily. Settings in here, what position the breaker is in the panel. You can identify the breaker so you know which one is which. If you ever get them mixed up, this shows us our panel view. So it shows all the breakers, where they're at in the panel, and we are good to go. And if you're installing the Leviton 48 amp charger, all you do is go in the app, you tell it what size breaker you put in there. So for here, it's a 60 amp breaker. It's gonna charge at 48 amps and then run through the same setup steps, and you should be ready to charge. So good to go. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we wanna give a special shout out to Leviton and City Electric in Escondido. They gave us such good pricing on everything and threw in some extra samples that we were able to help out our customer and keep the cost even lower than it would have been. So thank you so much to the two of you out there. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.